perfect little first graders. So it's been about 30 seconds since I've seen y'all. I know it's only been spring break and we're about to go into a couple of weeks of not seeing each other, and I already miss y'all so much. But I wanted to come on and talk to you guys and let you know that I'm thinking of you and I miss you so much, and I cannot wait, and I'm praying for the day that we get to be back together. Really praying that it's only these first 2 weeks, and then we're going to be back in the classroom and y'all are back in your desks and we're back at our normal classroom and everything gets to go on as normal. So in the meantime though, I wanted to send you guys this for 2 reasons. 1, to let you know how much I love you and I can't wait to see you again. And 2, to remind you that even though you're at home, you are still doing a little bit of schoolwork, and I am still going to be checking it, but it is a little bit weird to do a bunch of schoolwork at home. And so I'm going to remind you of a few things about my expectations so that, you know, after a few things got erased during spring break, I'm going to refresh your brain. So first, your pencil grips. So a lot of you are still struggling, and that's totally fine. But remember, and parents, if you're watching this too, all you have to do is tell the kiddos pencil grips. There are a few who have perfect pencil grips, and then there are some that are still working really hard to perfect it. So something to keep in mind, when they're holding their pencils, they use their pinchers first, and they grab their pencils like this, and they'll kind of meet their fingers, but then they rest it on their middle finger. And then I always tell them that the cushy part right here is their bed. So they'll rest it on the bed. And then that's how they write. It allows their fingers to move back and forth. If they're writing with their hands up like this, which some of our kiddos do that, it keeps their fingers too locked in, and so that their hands they're not making consistent movements. So make sure that they're resting it like this. I don't know if you can see that very well, but make sure that they're resting it so that they're able to move their fingers and their hands freely, and their wrists are able to move freely as well. So again, if you notice that your kiddos are writing a little bit wonky, just remind them pencil grips, and they already know, because they hear me nag them constantly every day, all day, that all they do is just flip their pencil back and it magically goes perfectly into their position. The other thing, when you're doing your handwriting, because there's going to be a lot of stuff that you're writing by hand, remember when you're doing a letter formations to do your letters close, but not touching, as close as you can. That's what makes them very pretty. Writing them small and controlled. Remember, the bigger the letters, the more out of control we tend to get. So write them small, close, and controlled. Let's see, letter formation. Remember, they're either going to start and they're going to go up and around, or they're going to go down and bounce back up, or they're plain Jane. Never does a letter start at the bottom and go up. So keep in mind that we're really working on those, because we're about to start, whenever we get back, we're going to start some really fun stuff and do some cursive, but I need to make sure that all of these other little things are perfect before we move on. Now going into reading, all of you are beautiful readers and you've come so far. So remember that when you're reading, you are tapping it out when you come to a word that you don't know. If it's a really long word that has a lot of stuff, remember, just grab that first chunk, which is that first syllable, get that first vowel consonant, tap that out. Make sure you know it, then go to the next chunk, then the next chunk, and then the next chunk, and then put them all together. Right now, y'all have done so much with all of those rules, and you've done so many spelling concepts and so many reading concepts. You pretty much can do almost any word that's out there. If you need to, go ahead and code it. Put those codes, put those markings on those words so that you know how to read that word. You have a really cool reading program that's out there that y'all are going to be playing with. But when you go to the actual books and you're looking at your actual books, then go ahead and look at those and tap those out and figure those out. When you're doing those, make sure that you're looking at your chunks. Remember that the first time that you read a sentence, you might have 2 or 3 words in your chunk, and that's okay. The more that you read, the bigger those chunks should get. So if you can do a whole line or a whole sentence, that would be perfect. But when you're doing that chunk, you're doing that prosody. Make sure that your voice goes up and down, because we don't want to sound like robots. We want to read how we talk. Another thing, going into math, remember, again, you have a really cool math program that you're going to be playing with, but some things you're going to do on paper. And so on those papers, remember that part of it is going to be, oh, here's Elliot. She says hi. She needs some yogurt. This is real life over here, guys. So remember that you can do your math facts. And then if you cannot remember your math facts, then you can do your touch points. Parents, if you need a little bit of assistance with the math facts, we didn't get the yogurt open. Give me 1 second. And there's your yogurt. Okay, manners don't count right now. So remember, parents, this is for you. Kiddos, they're pretty proficient at this, but the 1 has the 1 touch point here. The 2, 1, 2. 3 is 1, 2, 3. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then 6 starts the 3 down the back. And then we circle 1, 2, 3. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the kids are actually at the point now where that's what they're doing. They're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So parents, if you notice that they're getting to the point where they're not quite getting their math problems correct, and because their math facts just aren't there yet, go ahead and just tell them, just do a touch point and see if it's correct or not. Have them go ahead and just double check with touch points. Usually they'll notice, oh, okay, I just did a touch point and it's not right, and they'll fix it because they figure it out with their touch points. 7 is 3 down the back, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we say punch them in the nose for 7. 8 is side to side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9 is 3 down the back, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then that'll act for addition. So if we have like 5 plus 9, if they can't notice and recognize that that's 14, then what they'll do is they'll start at the top and they'll say 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And there it is. It keeps their hands on the paper. It keeps their eyes on the paper. They're not having to disconnect, use their fingers and come back to the paper. It keeps everything right there on that problem. So if we haven't linked that the paper with the math facts yet, then this is what this step they're on. And a lot of them are on this step, and that is totally fine. So keep that in mind when we're doing touch points. If you have any questions, I can send a separate video where it just talks about touch points. So if you have any questions, let me know. Beyond that, you know what, you guys, we are going to do so great during this next 2 weeks, and I'm going to just continue to pray that I get to see you guys and see your faces sooner rather than later. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll be calling you guys, all of you first graders, to see your faces, or actually just to talk to you and just to hear your voices, so that we can stay connected and continue to talk and make sure that you know I'm still out there. I know you're still out there, and we're going to get through this together, and we're going to come back together stronger than ever. So I love y'all, and we will see you soon. Bye-bye.